Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another video. Now, you clicked on the video because you feel lost in life. Well, you have come to the right place, my friend. Today, we're gonna help you. Now, when you're going through things like this, first of all, it's not an uncommon thing. It's not unique to you. A lot of people go through this, and when you go through things like this, it's helpful to visualize the problem in front of you. And what better way to visualize things than a flowchart? So that's what I've done today. I've made a flowchart of every single possible scenario that you could ever feel lost in your life. And for all ages, by the way, from 0 to 100. And we're going to go through all of this today, and hopefully this can help all of you watching. So let's get straight into it. Oh, actually, I have to shout out, this video is inspired by, I saw this video from this girl called Crystal in my YouTube recommended. Her one was about when to tell your crush that you like them. And if that's something that you need help on, go and watch that video. It was a good video. So without further ado, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the video. Now, I feel lost in life. What do I do? Okay, so the first question you have to ask yourself is obviously, how old are you? Now, I've split today's video into 5 segments. I'm a child, I'm a teenager, I'm a young adult, I'm a grown adult, and I'm an elderly person. I feel like most of you are probably in young adult, so we'll leave that one for last. Let's get the others out of the way first. If you want to just skip to the category that applies to you, then you can, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't recommend that because the human experience is universal. Something I say to an elderly person might help you if you're 12. So I would recommend just sitting through the video. It's not going to be that long. So, how old are you? Let's get the olders out of the way first. So, how old are you? I'm an elderly person. Cool. First of all, any elderly people watching, thank you for your time. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't know how to do that, then don't worry, just leave it. Okay, so the first question I want to ask you is, why do you feel lost in life? And there's really 3 reasons why you could possibly feel lost as an elderly person. Either you're scared to go upstairs, you're so lonely, or you've just lost pace, you're just not who you once were. So if this is you, if you're someone who is just terrified of going upstairs, you're towards the end of your life, then I want to ask you, were you a good person in your life? And if you can comfortably say, yes, I have lived a good, honorable life, then you have nothing to worry about. You're going to be rewarded in the afterlife. You have nothing to worry about. You can just chill, live out the rest of your days in peace. However, if your answer to this question, were you a good person in your life, is, it's complicated, well, then I'm sorry to tell you, but you know where you're going. You won't feel lost for much longer because we all know where you are going. And that's the peak thing about being old. There's no time to undo. You have to just firm this one. Okay, so that was that. Now, maybe you're an elderly person and you feel lost, but it's not because you're scared to go upstairs. It's because you just feel so lonely. Now, this is a common thing to experience as an old person. So the question I want to ask you is why? Why do you feel lonely? And there's really 2 main reasons why any elderly person will feel lonely. And those are, my partner went upstairs, or my partner is still with us, but we don't talk. In fact, we despise each other. Now, if you actually look closely, you'll see that both of these arrows here, they actually lead to the same box. So my advice to you is the exact same in both these scenarios. And that advice is, you need some action. Now, just because you're 80 doesn't mean you don't need human intimacy. Everyone needs physical connection. Everyone needs some spice in their life. And now, I know you think dating apps are just a young people's game, but you shouldn't think like that. There's age sliders on all of these apps. So you can put your thing from 80 to 90 and you can be seeing all the aunties and uncles that you want to see. Now, say that's not really your story, you just can't be asked with the actual physical, human connection thing, then that's calm, I understand. But there are actually still things that you can use to spice up your life. I don't know, this one is specifically for the elderly ladies out there. I don't know if any of you ladies are familiar with the rapid advancement of technology that we've seen in the last 5 to 10 years, but there is a lot of gadgets and devices and gizmos and roses that are on the market nowadays that can really help you spice up your life. They can really do something for you. So tap into that, and I think that could really help you. And lastly, maybe you're an elderly person, you feel lost, but it's not because you're lonely and it's not because you're scared to go upstairs. It's because you've lost pace. You're not in your prime anymore, and it's really getting to you. Then if this is you, then I want to ask you, in what sense? In what sense have you lost pace? Either you've lost pace because your physical health is deteriorating, or your mental health is deteriorating. They think it's Alzheimer's. So if your physical health is deteriorating, then I think I have something for you, and it's actually called the substance. Now, there was actually a recent documentary about this. It's an incredible breakthrough in anti-aging science technology. And I'm not going to speak too much about it. Just go and watch that documentary. And if this is you, if you're not who you once were, I think this can really do something for you. But if that's not you though, and your physical health isn't the problem, but it's your mental health, then that's understandable as well. You know, I know this happens to a lot of people. So my mental health is deteriorating. They think it's Alzheimer's. Okay, so, well, first of all, that's obviously incredibly sad to hear. Like, I'm really sorry to hear that. And I would ask you though, do you take any medications? Like, I know there's a lot of like different like medications on the market for Alzheimer's. My mental health is deteriorating. They think it's Alzheimer's. Okay, yeah, I get that. But I ask, do you take any medications though? That's what I want to know. My mental health is deteriorating. They think it's Alzheimer's. Okay, so elderly people out the way. Now let's go into the grown adult section. So if you're a grown adult watching this, first of all, welcome. Drop a like and subscribe, and drop a follow at my Instagram right there. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, grown adults watching, welcome. Now, if you're a grown adult and you feel lost, the first question I have to ask you is, are you going through a midlife crisis? Like, I know that this is a very common thing that adults experience. So either I am going through a midlife crisis, or no, I'm insulted you even said that. My wife was holding me back anyway. If she can't see Dogecoin is the future, F her. Now, interestingly, you'll see that this response, if we follow this line here, it actually leads right back to I am going through a midlife crisis. So you're a grown adult, you're going through a midlife crisis, cool. Now, next I would ask you, what irrational idea are you preoccupied with? I know when people go through midlife crisis, there's always this one idea that they just become obsessed with, and they're like, this is the thing that I'm gonna do to like completely flip my life around, to get out of this feeling of like being lost. And one of the most common ideas you'll see when people go through midlife crisis is, I should cheat on my wife for a younger woman. If you are thinking this, then my advice to you would be, no, you absolutely should not. You don't have it anymore. How disrespectful and like disgusting it is to your wife aside, like, you don't have it anymore. I'm sorry, like, your prime was 04-05 season. This is the 24-25 season. You're really gonna struggle in today's game. The pace is just faster, and your knees aren't what they once were. Why have I specifically directed this one towards like middle-aged men cheating on their wife instead of middle-aged women cheating on their husbands? Because I don't know the statistics, but like, if you do the research, I'm sure you'll see that the ratio of like grown men who cheat on their wives versus grown women who cheat on their husbands, it must be like 50-1. I don't know the reason why that is, but like, I'm sure that is facts. And one of the most embarrassing fates that you can ever succumb to as a man is to be someone like Wayne Lineker. You're a man in their mid-60s and you're in Ibiza doing shots with girls on their gap year, 19-year-olds. What are you doing with your life? Everything a man does in his life should be to avoid becoming someone like Wayne Lineker. Maybe that's not the idea that's stuck in your head though. Maybe it is, I should quit my job and start a blank business. Now, why have I left it blank? Because like, you can really like sub in any word there. You can sub in, oh, I should start a crypto business. I should start a SMMA business. I should start a dropshipping business. I should start a business as a lifestyle influencer. If you ever had any of those thoughts and you're a grown adult, then my advice to you would be, no, you absolutely shouldn't. Can you please be serious? Please. Don't throw your life away for that Facebook video that's telling you, here's how I made 13K a month at 17 years old. It's a lie. It's a lie. Please don't throw your life away for dumb things like that. Please. Keep your current job. You have a mortgage to pay, please. But maybe those two aren't the two ideas that you're preoccupied with. Maybe it's this third and final one. Maybe it's, I'm aging, I should get cosmetic surgery. Now, like, this is a tricky one to talk about because like, I'm not blaming people who want to get cosmetic surgery, because when people get cosmetic surgery, it's born out of insecurity, you know. And I don't want to attack people for being insecure. Like, we should really attack the forces that are making people feel like they should get cosmetic surgery. The amount of people you see nowadays with this one, the one that gives them the cheeks like this, or the lip fillers, or like, listen, I know why people are motivated to get these surgeries. It's because of pressures that like disproportionately, obviously, they affect women. These cosmetic surgery businesses, they prey on people's insecurities while also they perpetuate them at the same time. It's like a loop like that. But if you're a grown adult and you're thinking about it and like you're kind of on the fence about it, my advice to you would be, please, no, you know, like, it's a beautiful thing to age, you know, it's a beautiful thing to look your age. Like, this obsession with always trying to look like 20 years younger, like I understand it and I understand why it exists, but at the same time, it's like, like we need to start breaking out of that. It's because it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all, bro. You're seeing like regular women, just like civilian women with a BBL. Like, why? Like, I'm sorry to say, but like, you're a registrar for the NHS. Why do you have a BBL? How is this gonna benefit you in your life? Like, and again, I'm not attacking anyone for getting a BBL, but like, whenever you see a BBL in public, yeah, it's like a jump scare. It's like, whoa, like, and not in a good way. Like, it's like, whoa, this is actually crazy. I can't believe people are actually doing this to them. So I can't believe doctors are doing this to people. I can't believe you paid to have this done to you, because it actually looks crazy. But again, this is not a criticism of people who get cosmetic surgery. It's a criticism of the structures around them, you know? Like, it's sad. To be honest with you, it's very sad. Here are actually some things that you can do in spite of these three things. Number one, start an allotment. I know a lot of people that have got an allotment and it's brought them so much joy. Get an allotment, get gardening. Every Sunday you go there, you just water the plants, you cut the grass. Like, it's a beautiful thing. Number two, go vegan. Do one of these weird diets that you'll probably stop in 2 weeks. You know, it's just something to take your mind off things, you know, to just like something to focus on that isn't, you know, infidelity. Number three, learn a language. Number four, start a musical instrument. And finally, number five, get like a very bold statement fashion item. Either like it's really weird sunglasses that like make you feel like you're 20 years younger, or maybe it's like, maybe get bangs, you know, maybe do a blonde wig. Maybe like, these are things that, you know, maybe in a month's time you look back at it and laugh and be like, wow, I can't believe I did that. But they are not things that will ruin your entire life in a split second, like these other three things that I mentioned. Okay, so elderly people and grown adults out of the way. Now let's go to the other side of the spectrum. Let's do, I'm a child. So you're a child and you feel lost in life. Okay, cool. So my first question to you would be, what do you mean I'm a child? Like, is it that I'm 10 to 12 years old? And if it's that you're 10 to 12 years old, then you're basically a teenager. Go to that section. Like, the advice that I would give a 10-year-old is basically identical to the advice I'd give a 13-year-old. So you're basically a teenager. If it's not that you're 10 to 12 years old, then carry on this way. So what do you mean I'm a child? I'm literally a child. I'm like 5 years old. Okay, that's interesting. So if you don't mind me asking, like, how can you feel lost in life? You know, like, you're like 5 years old. I don't feel lost. I'm literally lost. I can't find my mum or dad. What? Like, how are you watching the video? Where are your parents? What do you mean? We're in big Tesco. I went to look at some cereal and now I can't find them anymore. What? Like, go and find someone in a Tesco uniform. Tell them you're lost. Do not talk to any strangers. Anyone that tries to talk to you, don't talk back to them unless they're wearing a Tesco uniform. The staff will be able to help you. Please go and find a staff member now. If that was distressing to you, do not worry. I've been told that that child was safely relocated with their parents, so don't stress. Now, let's get to the penultimate one. I'm a teenager. Teenagers, welcome to the video. Drop a like, drop a comment, and welcome. If you feel lost in life, hopefully this video can help you. Okay, I'm a teenager. Teenager, why do you feel lost in life? Either it's, I don't know what I want to do in my life, I'm struggling with my self-esteem, or I feel very lonely. These are really the three main reasons why a lot of teenagers feel like they feel lost in life. And if this is you, then don't worry, I'm here to help. So is the reason why you feel lost in life because you just don't know what you want to do in life? If this is you, then my advice is, my child, this is what your teenage years are for. Like, your life has not even started yet, bro. Like, you don't have to have anything figured out. Your teenage years are for just like flopping miserably at like so many things, doing like cringe things, like trying to make friends, failing to make friends. And then you look back on it when you're like 20 and you're like, whoa, that was some real character building. That was character development. But that's all your teenagers are for, just character development. Try to put one foot in front of the other, try to make some friends, try to find some of your interests, like just try to get through it, you know, because it's a hard time. Just try to do your best, but trust me, like, don't feel like you're failing because of some like random arbitrary goals that you've set for yourself. Like, your life has not even begun yet, my child. If that's not the reason why you feel lost and it's more because you're struggling with your self-esteem, then that's completely understandable. I know so many people that, me personally, I was struggling with my self-esteem as well as a teenager too. So I would ask you though, what in particular are you struggling with? Is it that you think everyone hates me? Is it that you think I'm bad at everything? Or is it that you think I'm clapped? Now, these are like the three go-to things that a lot of teenagers feel. And if you haven't noticed already, all three of these arrows, they actually lead right to the same box. And my advice to you would be, my child, this is not true. None of these things are true, bro. Like, these three things, yeah, I'm clapped, I'm bad at everything, and everyone hates me. It's like the second you turn 13, yeah, you're just hardwired to like start thinking these things, but they don't make sense. No one knows why it happens. Well, it's puberty and also like just a million other things going through your head, but these three things, like, none of them are true. And no matter how much you think they're true, it doesn't change the fact that they're not true. Like, if you think you're clapped, you're not. You're just a child. If you think you're bad at everything, like, maybe you're bad at some things. Maybe you haven't found what you're going to be good at. Just because you're not some, like, once in a generation wonder kid at something, like, just because you're not fucking Michael Phelps, Serena Williams, doesn't mean that, like, you're bad at everything, bro. Just, it takes time. These things take time. And no, everyone does not hate you. Like, maybe some people hate you, true. But, you know, teenagers randomly hate people. So, and, like, I can almost guarantee, like, someone is happy to have you around. So you've definitely made someone smile. You've definitely made someone laugh. So, like, people, not everyone hates you. Like, get out of your head. And lastly, if you're a teenager and you feel lost, but it's not because you don't know what to do in life, and it's not because you're struggling with your self-esteem, and it's because you feel very lonely, then my follow-up question would be, do you have any close friends? Now, either yes, I have close friends, or no, I don't have any close friends. Now, if you have close friends, then I would follow up with, do you only see them in school? And if your answer to that is like, yeah, pretty much, then you need to make an effort to do things with your friends. Like, I'm going to put you all on to things that you can do with your friends. I'm going to give you 3 things, yeah? Number 1, teleparty. You can watch Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime. You can watch it at the same time in separate places, and it comes up with a little chat box on the side. It's a really cool thing. Teleparty. Number 2, Google Forms quizzes. They're always fun. They're always a good time. Do things like that with your friend group. And the third and final thing that I say you could do is, you know, start a joint social media page with your friends about something that you all like. It's like, oh, we all like Billie Eilish. Let's make a Billie Eilish fan account. But you don't have to take it too seriously. You know, you can just like start beefing all the other Billie Eilish fan accounts. You know, just like have fun with it. It's a way to like engage with things that you like while also spending time with your friend. And that's what life is about, really. But maybe that's not you. Maybe you're someone who like regularly does see your friends outside of school, but you still feel lonely. And if that's the case, then I would ask you, are you sure that these people are actually your close friends? Like, are you sure? Like, you say you spend a lot of time with them, you still feel lonely. Like, there's a disconnect there. So maybe sometimes you think, I think so, but sometimes I do doubt our friendship. Now, if this is you, I just want to say, beware, you know, beware of these kind of people. Like, you're going to meet a lot of people like this in your life. But I know you're a teenager right now, you don't have a lot of life experience, but let me just tell you, like, you think some people are just, oh, we're just chilling together as sheep, we're just having a good time together, this is my guy, this is a sheep, and then they're a wolf. Be careful of these kind of people, please. But if that's not you, if you're someone who is like 100% confident that like your friends love you, you love your friends, like you're just generally close friends, but you still feel lonely despite this, then I'm sorry to say, but I think you may be depressed. Like, that's just the reality of it. And I talk about depression a bit later in the video in the young adult section. So if you're a teenager and you think this is you, then you can skip ahead to that section. So there are also people who feel lonely and they do have close friends. But if you're someone who feels lonely and you don't have any close friends, then follow this way. So the question I would ask you is, do you have the desire to at least like try and make new friends, you know? And if your response to that is, yes, I do, then cool. Here's some things you can try. Now, the best way to make friends as a teenager is either like in school or like online, really. And if school isn't working for you, if like everyone in the school is just a loser, everyone hates you in school, that's fine. You can try online. Now, trying to make friends with people online is tricky, but my advice would be like, try to put yourself in spaces where like there's people with similar interests as you. Like, try to find like niche places where like you can talk about things that you enjoy with other people that enjoy those things. But I have to just say though, as a disclaimer, like the internet is a weird place, you know? Like, if you're a teenager trying to make friends on the internet, please check your mirrors. Make sure these people that you're talking to are actually teenagers. You don't want to end up in a fucking Netflix documentary in like 20 years time talking about how, oh yeah, I was chatting to Dua Lipa stan 414, and then it turns out to be from like 63-year-old guy. Just be careful, please. And the second thing I say is like about in the internet, like, please stay out of these weird corners of the internet. Please stay out of the racial chat rooms. Stay out of like where all the losers congregate. You don't want to be there. Like, and I know you have a teenage brain, so sometimes when you're a teenager, your brain's not fully loaded yet. You haven't got all the updates. So you're like, sometimes you see these edgelord losers, and you're like, wait, this guy's actually kind of cool, you know? Please, as someone with the benefit of perspective, these people are losers, and you don't see it right now, but one day you will, and you would be embarrassed for associating with them or ever finding them cool. So I'm just saying, get a head start on that. Like, skip the teenage edgelord phase. Like, it's not necessary. Now, maybe you're someone who doesn't have any close friends, but you just like don't really have the desire at all to try and make new friends. And then I would ask you, like, why is that? Like, why don't you have the desire to make new friends? Is it because it's just so embarrassing and cringe to even try and meet new people? I'm too scared / anxious to even try. And if that's you, I just want to say, like, that's not good enough, bro. I'm sorry, but like, you know, anxiety is something that everyone experiences, but like, it's just a fact of life. Like, it will never go away. The way that you deal with it can change though. Like, if you see it as this like immovable obstacle in your life that you're never going to get past, and you never try to get past, then it's going to stay like that. Every time you're anxious about something, you just avoid it. You're just like, no, I'm not going near that. Or you can be like, I'm anxious about this thing. That's not going to go away, but let me just try in spite of the anxiety. Let me try to get around it, you know? You need to have that courage. You need to be able to take a leap in life. Like, otherwise you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to be stuck in that one place all the time, like boxed in by like your own anxiety. Like, that's not a place you want to be. So yeah, like, try the things I talked about. Maybe it's not that you're socially anxious though. Maybe it's that you're just someone who prefers to be alone. Like, I can be very happy in my own company. Well, then the first thing I'll say is, you already said you feel lost in life. So if you're someone who just does like feel happier in their own company, then that's fine as a teenager, but like, make sure it's not that anxiety talking for you. Okay, so maybe the reason why you don't have the desire to make friends is because it's none of these two reasons. Maybe it's actually because you don't really have the desire to do anything at the moment. And like, I'm sorry to say, but if we follow this arrow all the way back up here, I think you may be depressed. Like, that's like a classic symptom of depression. So if that's you, then like I said, you can skip forward a couple minutes and go to this section where I talk about how to deal with depression. Last but not least, the final course of today's 5-course meal. I am a young adult and I feel lost in life. If this is you, then welcome, and hopefully we can help you today. So the first question I want to ask you, the very first question is, are you depressed? Let's just get it out of the way. So either yes or no. Now, this is obviously like a sensitive question, but I would advise you to just answer as truthfully as you can. So if you do feel like you're genuinely depressed, then the first question I would ask you is, have you tried locking in? That's always the first thing I recommend people if they say they feel depressed. You have to try to lock in first before you try anything else. If you have not tried to lock in yet, then I would say pause the video, try and lock in. If it doesn't work, come back and keep watching. But if you're someone who actually has tried to lock in, but it didn't help, like it didn't work for you, then damn. Well, here is my advice on dealing with depression. So obviously, like, I'm not really a licensed person to talk about this. I don't have any qualifications, but I'm just going to try to give you advice that I think will help. So first thing we're going to tell you is, like, go to therapy, like speak to a professional. And yeah, you can definitely do that. But what I will say though is, like, if you're going to go to therapy though, go like officially, like go to your GP, tell them, yeah, I think I have depression. They're going to see you, they're going to talk to you, like, and then you can go to like actual serious thing. Don't go to these like random ass companies online. Something about it just doesn't seem like genuine. Why are you advertising on this video of Kyrie's best handles? Why are you doing these random ass sponsorships with like YouTubers? Like, it just seems weird. Like, I just get weird vibes from it. Please go to like official things. Don't go to any of these random ass companies like BetterHelp. But obviously BetterHelp, if you're watching, I'm willing to retract all of these comments. If you just drop me a bag, I will gladly fake cry on camera. Obviously, like, there's like the therapy route, and that's like the official one. So definitely try that if you feel like you're depressed. But I'm gonna give you my own personal free best ways that I feel like will help you if you feel like you're depressed. Number 1, you need to see the sun every day. I don't care if you live in England and the sun is out for like 49 seconds a day. You have to at least see the grey sky. Brothers and sisters, you have to leave your room. You're like, oh, like, why do I feel so shit? Like, why do I just have no motivation to do anything? The only thing you've seen in the past 19 hours is your phone and your bedroom ceiling. That's not a recipe for success. I'm sorry. Like, Sampha said it best. He said, I see the sun It helps more than a little bit. He obviously sang it better than me, but like, bro, like, it's actually so true. You have to see the sun every day. Number 2, similar to actually seeing the sun every day, you have to make sure that you force yourself into environments where you're around people, where you're around life. It's something about being intimately surrounded by like life. I don't know, it makes you feel connected to like other people. It takes you out your own head for a second. Like, depression is very isolating, but the way to combat that is you need to like surround yourself with people. You need to feel connected with other people. And then number 3, like, every time I go to the gym, and I run on the treadmill, all I do is I run for 10 minutes at just the highest speed that I can maintain for 10 minutes. From minute like 6 to like 9.5, all I'm thinking about is just like, the longer and longer I hold on, the longer and longer I put off that feeling of like, nah, I can't get through this, the closer you're actually getting to the finish line, the closer you're getting to relief. And I do feel like sometimes being depressed is like that. Like, you have to understand that eventually everything in life gets easier. Things will always change. Nothing is permanent in life. It's hard to visualize things in the future when you're like deeply depressed. You just have to have faith in that idea that like, things won't always feel like this, you know. Eventually things will get easier. We just got deep for a second. I had to get real for a second. But yeah, maybe that's not you though. Maybe you're not depressed at all. Maybe you're not depressed and you still feel lost. So then my follow-up question would be, why do you feel lost? Like, why? I'm really gonna cover 4 main reasons why any like young adult will feel lost. So first of all, why do you feel lost? It's because I'm broke. And if this is the case, then all I'll say is just consult my last video. I think that video can really help you out. I think that video is going to get you where you need to be financially. Maybe it's not because you're broke. Maybe it's because I have no purpose. Now, this is a very, very, very big one. This is basically what this entire video is about, like purpose. So if this is you, if you're someone who feels like you have no purpose, then I would ask you, like, are you good at anything? Like, just, are you good at anything? Very simple question. So either like, yes, I have 1 or more skills, or nah, I'm not good at anything. Okay, so let's say for argument's sake, like, no, you feel like you're not good at anything, then that's cool. But I would follow up with, like, really? Like, I just want to like clarify, like, you're not good at anything, like literally nothing. Like, are you sure? You know, some people, they like to be modest. They think it's embarrassing to brag, but like, you know, answer truthfully. You're not good at anything. So either, okay, well, actually, I have something in mind, but I just lack confidence. Well, if that's you, then that's not a problem. We can work with that. And you should go actually all the way back here to, yes, I have 1 or more skills. But if you feel like your answer to this question, like, you're not good at anything, is genuinely like, to be honest, like, yeah, I'm really just not good at anything, then that's fine. You know, that's not a problem. My follow-up question though would be, are you willing to put the effort in to get good at something? Like, are you willing to do that? And if your response to that is like, absolutely, I want to find my purpose, then excellent. Like, we can work with that. And if that's you, then I want you to go all the way back to, yes, I have 1 or more skills. But if that's not you, and your answer to this question, are you willing to put the effort in to get good at something, is no, I am deeply untalented and I am intent on staying this way, then that's fine, I guess. But I would ask you, like, what are some of your interests? You know, like, so you're not good at anything, you don't really have any standout talents or talents you can develop, but like, what are you interested in? What is something you're passionate about? Oh, okay. So I am only interested in things that other people tell me I should be interested in. Okay, interesting. I haven't had an original thought in over 10 years. Wow, okay. Every day that goes by where I don't have to use my brain is a massive win. You know what? I think I know exactly what my advice to you would be. I think you need to get into the AI space. You need to get into the AI sector, specifically the generative AI sector. I think you're going to meet a lot of like-minded people there. You know, I really feel like you'll be able to find a strong sense of community amongst those people, because, you know, like yourself, they are also deeply untalented losers. Okay, so that was for if you generally don't feel like you're good at anything. But if you feel like, yes, I have 1 or more skills, then I would ask you, are you passionate about your skill? And if your answer to this is, yes, I am passionate about my skill, then I would say, amazing. You have literally hit the jackpot in life. Like, don't get discouraged. You don't realize how lucky you are. You're like the 0.1%. Not everyone is talented at something that they're also passionate about. You should absolutely not get discouraged. You should just keep pushing. If you're not passionate about your skill though, then my advice to you would be, you can be good at something because clearly you have a skill that you've already said. So find something you're passionate about and lock in, because passion is way more important than natural talent. If you're passionate about something, you're going to be willing to put all the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours in to get good at it. So yeah, just find something you're passionate about and then lock in. But maybe you feel lost in life, and it's not because you're broke, and it's not because you feel like you have no purpose. Maybe it's because you can't find love. So my first question to you would be, are you on the apps? You know the apps I'm talking about. Like, are you on like dating apps? And if your answer to that is yes, then I would just say, good for you. I'm praying for you, I'm praying for you. Try not to get discouraged too much, but just, it is kind of RNG whether it works for you or not. But like, have faith in the process, have faith that someone is on there for you. So yeah, I'm praying for you, and yeah, good luck. Okay, but maybe that's not you though. Maybe you can't find love, but you don't really want to look on the apps, so you're not on the apps. And if that's the case, then I would ask you, how are you trying to meet someone? So you're not on the apps, what are you actually trying to do? So either I try to meet people in real life, clubs, societies, classes, bars, work, etc. And if that's the case, then excellent. Like, keep pushing, your bravery will be rewarded. And I say bravery because it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there, to be in these environments where you're quite vulnerable, but it takes a lot of bravery to do that. So well done, I'm proud of you. Keep pushing though, don't get discouraged. Just because you instantly don't find your soulmate doesn't mean that these things aren't working. Maybe that's not you though. Maybe your answer to how you're trying to meet someone is, I'm not ready yet. I just got out of a long-term relationship. And if that's you, then that's fair. Focus on yourself. It's not everyday relationship. You don't have to be in a relationship to feel fulfilled. And if you generally do feel like that, then you need to work backwards a bit, because clearly something's gone wrong. Try to find fulfillment with yourself until you're ready to get back out there. But maybe your answer to this question, how are you trying to meet someone, isn't any of those two, and it's actually, I'm relying on cosmic forces / the divine serendipity of the universe to present my soulmate to me. Wow, that's something. So first of all, I would ask you what does that mean? What do you actually do to try and meet people? I don't know, I do nothing and stay in my room all day. See, now, how is that going to work? Tell me how that's going to work. And I know there's a lot of people that this genuinely applies to, people who all they talk about is, I just can't wait until I meet my soulmate, I'm just, all they tweet about is yearning and before sunset and eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. Brother, what do those films have in common? Where did they meet? Outside. You think Ethan Hawke just spawned in that woman's room? No, they were outside. You think before sunrise is gonna happen to you? You just stay in your room all day. How is that gonna happen? That's not physically possible. You have to take a risk. Like I said, you have to take a leap sometimes in life. You have to put in something to get something back. That's just the way the world works. And finally, maybe the reason why you feel lost as a young adult isn't any of those three that I just talked about. Maybe it's because I have no close friends. Now, we talked about this before for teenagers, but I know young adults also experience this thing of not feeling that they have any close friends. So the first thing I would ask you is, are you trying to make new friends? And if your answer to that is yes, then I'd ask you how. So either it's this, I try to meet people in real life, clubs, societies, bars, work, etc. And if that's the case, then excellent. Like I said before about trying to meet your partner, it's kind of the same rationale. Just keep pushing, don't be discouraged. Just being there is a success. Or maybe you're not doing the in-person thing. Maybe you're doing mainly online. That's how you're trying to make friends. Apps, gaming, social media. And to be honest with you, that as a young adult, that's also fine too. There's no rule book on how to make close friends. Whatever works for you. As long as you're trying, as long as you've taken the leap, as long as you have made an effort, then your bravery will eventually be rewarded. That's just how these things work. But of course, maybe you're a young adult and your answer to this question, are you trying to make new friends, is no. And that's fair. But I would ask you, is this because you've grown distant from previous close friends, friends you had at school maybe, And if this is the case, if yes, I had close friends in school / sixth form, but I don't speak or see them anymore, then my advice to you would be, you have the power to end these patterns. Sometimes trying to plan a simple meetup with some of my old friends from school, it's like we're doing PhD level fucking computer science. Like, it feels like it's so complicated, but you have to make an effort. Like, you have to, otherwise eventually, like, nothing's gonna happen, and you're gonna see each other for like 3 years. So yeah, just, you have the power to end these patterns. But maybe this isn't your story. Maybe it's not because you've grown distant from previous close friends. Maybe it's because, no, I've always struggled making close friendships, and that's fine. But I just want to ask you, like, why is that? So either I just prefer to be alone, and if that's the case, then I would say I don't think you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel lost. That's the whole point of the video. At the very, very, very top of the flowchart, you agreed that you feel lost in life. Life is not a single player game, bro. It's nearly impossible to just try and like single player life. You need friends to help you, even if it's not in person, even if it's just like just speaking to them, just getting things off your mind, like looking for them for support, for encouragement. Like, you need a group around you. It takes a village to raise the lamb, as they say. And the other path to this also leads to the same place. So you said, why is that? And I have severe social anxiety. So both these things, I just prefer to be alone, and I have severe social anxiety. They both lead here. Everything takes a leap of faith. Like, everything takes a risk. Like, if you never take a risk, if you never take a leap of faith, like, because you're just too anxious, you're too embarrassed to like fail or like have it not work out for you, then you will be stuck in the same place, lost forever. Every single time you take a leap, every single time you every single time you join that book club, or you sign up to that Sunday league team, that five-a-side team, literally anything, every single time you take a leap, every single time you push yourself and you're like, you know what, let me just try this, you're ending up somewhere different. You're getting closer and closer. Maybe you don't end up where you want to be, but you get somewhere different. And eventually you take a leap of faith here, you take a leap of faith there. Eventually you end up somewhere where you don't feel lost anymore. Like, you know where you're going. But the only way to get out of that feeling of feeling lost is you need to move. You're not a tree, bro. Like, you need to like actively try to find yourself, to find other people. Like, that's the only way you will ever escape that feeling. So yeah, that's all I have to say really. That concludes the video. Hopefully something I said resonated with you, and yeah, I hope this helps genuinely. Thank you for watching, and good night, good evening, good morning, goodbye.